Your forecast first from KARK4.
It was definitely a stormy start to the day today across many parts of Arkansas. Some places seeing some very heavy rainfall. The good news is that activity has moved to the southeast and dissipated. Another piece of good news is no activity out to our west. We're in for a quiet night tonight, but that's not going to be the same story as we head into the weekend. Your forecast first for Little Rock, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies overnight tonight, 82 at 7 p.m. We're going to start your Friday at 70. Arkansas News That Matters starts right now.
Coming up on KARK4 News at 5. The number of violent crimes continues to rise in the capital city. Little Rock police are working to solve more than 40 homicides this year. Now leaders come up with a plan to stop the violence and reclaim the city. Plus, a Conway man murdered 1 year ago. There's still no arrests in the case. Family members are now calling for that killer to be brought to justice. And
in the end of the summer here, we're doing the exact jumps that we'll be doing, hopefully, for a gold medal jump at the Olympics.
Before they hit the slopes, Olympic skiers spend lots of time in the pool. Why water always comes before snow. And tonight's Going for the Gold report.
Now, from the station you count on for local news that matters, this is KARK4 News at 5.
And we've got some breaking news. Arkansas's Attorney General has asked the governor to set an execution date for a death row inmate. Jack Green was sentenced to death in 1992 for murdering 2 people, his own brother and a Johnson County preacher. The Attorney General's request comes 4 months after the state carried out 4 lethal injections. We're told the Department of Correction does have its full supply of the 3 drugs used in lethal injections. ADC got a new supply of one of the drugs 2 weeks ago. State law allows suppliers to stay anonymous, so we don't know where it came from. A developing story that we will continue to follow for you. And good evening, everybody, and welcome to our new home here at KARK4 News. We're proud to show it off. It is, of course, your home for news. And in the news this evening, we begin tonight with another plan to fight crime in the capital city on the heels of the 43rd homicide. It's called the National Public Safety Partnership, something Little Rock police say has upped their ante. KARK4's Jess Tenor joining us now live from the department to explain how this program works. Jess, what do we know about it?
Yeah, Bob, so we found out that Little Rock was actually one of the first cities to get on board of this program back in 2015 when the Department of Justice did notice that the capital city had an increase in violent crime. Now, instead of just being another talking point, police say that this program actually makes things happen. A mass shooting in the capital city forced its mayor to take action.
Each one of them will have certain objectives and will have certain indicators to determine how we are doing.
Part of Mark Stodola's Little Rock for Life plan, the National Public Safety Partnership, which the police department has participated in for 2 years.
It's allowed us some good opportunities to see how other cities have handled problems similar to ours.
Little Rock is one of 15 pilot operation sites across the country. The program uses the U.S. Department of Justice to help high-crime cities combat violence, especially related to gangs, guns, and drugs, with a variety of resources. The capital city enrolled in its 3rd and final year of the program after President Trump extended it with an executive order.
Take the good and the bad and then try to figure out what will work here in Little Rock.
Assistant Police Chief Alice Falk says the program has enabled her department to train a full-time officer free of charge to enter and compare shell casing information.
An officer may go out to a shots fired call, they may collect some shell casings, and we may be able to correlate that to a homicide or another shooting that occurred. Possibly not even in our own city.
Little Rock police were also able to revamp their domestic training policy.
Try to get a higher conviction rate on a lot of our misdemeanor and felony domestic violence cases.
Folks says the Public Safety Partnership helped her department apply for 3 grants this year, involving schools, technology, and social network analysis.
That's more than we had had the ability to apply for before.
Ultimately, she says the program connected the right people from the federal, state, and local levels at the right time, as the capital city surpassed last year's homicide count this week.
We do have a high rate in violence right now, but there's not a perfect solution.
And once the program expires next year for Little Rock, Folks says that the work will be actually able to continue under a new task force the governor recently announced, and that's called the Gang Enforcement Team, or the Get Rock Task Force. And you may recall that combines about 20 members from 10 different agencies, including Little Rock Police. Live at the police department, I'm Jesse Tenor.
All right, Jess, thanks very much. It has been exactly 1 year since 50-year-old Terry Credit was found shot to death in his home in Conway. His murder still unsolved. Charmaine Nero talking with family members who are keeping faith that his killer will be found. Charmaine.
Exactly, Bob. A year later, and the pain from Terry Credit's death can still be seen in the tears coming from his daughter's face. Every day since his death,
that was my daddy. He was there.
Terry Credit's loved ones come to his grave on a family plot in Mayflower.
I miss him every day. Try to cope with it every day, and it's hard.
It's been 1 year since someone shot and killed Credit in Conway.
I cried this morning, knowing the fact that at 2:30 in the morning on this day, somebody went to his house and took his life.
Knowing that he won't be here to see me graduate, go to college, walk me to proms, homecoming, none of that, it hurt.
Credit's death has left a hole in this family.
It's that one person missing. It's that one piece of the puzzle that we just can't receive anymore.
Knowing his murder is still unsolved.
And the people that took his life is out walking around, living their life, visiting their family, and this is how we have to visit him.
Standing at his grave, marked with pictures and balloons.
That's one of my only wishes, that I could see him one more time. And knowing that I can't, it's not right.
The family prays for the closure that still hasn't come.
Now, witnesses say they saw two men leaving that home that night. Many still believe someone in the Conway community knows who did this. If you have any information, you are asked to call Conway Police. We also have that information available on ArkansasMatters.com. Bob, back to you.
All right, Charmaine, thanks very much. A celebration of life for legendary Razorback coach Frank Broyles scheduled for Saturday. The event, which is open to the public, is set for 2 o'clock at Bud Walton Arena at Fayetteville. The arena will open at 12:30. The celebration will be televised, and we will carry it right here on KARK. The 92-year-old passed away from complications of Alzheimer's on Monday. In KARK Working For You update, members of the Dicamba task force quizzed chemical companies and weed scientists on solutions to widespread crop damage during its first meeting. The herbicide Dicamba has been around for years, but new formulations were supposed to be less volatile and less prone to hit unintended targets. With 900 complaints of Dicamba damage across Arkansas, this task force is working to create recommendations on if the chemicals can still be used or if the companies have to go back to the drawing board to protect farmers' livelihoods. No decisions were made today. A second meeting is scheduled. We'll let you know when that happens and where it is set. And tonight's Working For You, as colleges gear up for students to head back to campus, they're also trying to prep for concealed carry on their grounds under a new Arkansas law. The enhanced concealed carry permit passed by Arkansas lawmakers in March allows guns on college campuses with specific exceptions. But the expansion of the state's concealed carry law has raised potential problems that college communities are trying to figure out, including how close guns might be to high school students.
It's so much bigger than just a university setting, the places that are covered in this bill, that I don't know that a lot of people realize the impact and the implications of that.
Tonight on KRK4 News at 10 o'clock, Working For You talks to the University of Arkansas system and a local high school as they try to work out the wrinkles of the new law and what it means for teen students heading to school on UALR's campus. We'll also look at the rules that you need to know before you can carry on campus. Because your community matters, the executive director of Our House, Little Rock Homeless Shelter, announcing that she will be stepping down. Georgia Martin has led the Our House program for the last 12 years. During her time, she has helped thousands of homeless families find shelter and after-school programs.
We'll be investing in it, and our family will just be able to carry out our mission of helping lift people out of poverty. But it's also a really sad time for me and for him, because we have been so deeply committed to and invested in our home community here in Little Rock.
Ben Goodwin has been named the new executive director. Martin's last day will be September 15th. We are your local election headquarters. An independent candidate will take on Republican Congressman Bruce Westerman in 2018. Michael Barrett, a Polk County Navy veteran and former pastor, announcing his plans to run today for the U.S. House of Representatives District 4. In a press release, Barrett calls Washington a mess, writing both sides of the aisle have been serving themselves for too long. He says that he is running against Westerman to take back the government for the people of Arkansas. The new owners of the Arlington Hotel ordered to make repairs or face closure. City leaders in Hot Springs sending a notice last week listing 47 rooms that need safety corrections. The notice also pointed out that several exterior repairs need to be made, which the city says could be potentially hazardous this winter. Arlington owners have now until November 8th to complete the work. We'll keep you updated on that. The solar eclipse is inching closer and closer, and there are a lot of people out there who still don't have the proper eyewear to watch it safely. A group of veterans at a local VA hospital will now be able to take part in this historic event.
Still work on our landings here and looking at the ground and making sure you're prepping for that landing. This facility is huge for us. It's the best off-season training you can get.
Today, we are 175 days away from the opening of the 2018 Winter Games. So how do athletes train without snow? Find out coming up in your Going for Gold report.
And clouds and rain keeping temperatures down a bit across many parts of Arkansas today. Here in the capital city, up to 88, 93 is our average high for this time of year. And although we didn't see any measurable rainfall at Little Rock National Airport, some places picking up a couple of inches. Either way, these guys are loving it. Mosquito meter says a mosquito monsoon will continue, and your forecast will continue in just a couple minutes.
Now, from KARK4, your weather authority. Arkansas's certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan.
After a stormy start to the day, conditions a lot quieter this afternoon, although we did see more clouds and sunshine for much of the day. Precipitation has really been limited. In fact, nothing showing up on radar right now. All the significant shower and thunderstorm activity now east of the Mississippi River. Temperatures late this afternoon are generally holding in the 80s to around 90 degrees. We've got 86 right now at Clinton, 84 at Batesville, 85 at Hot Springs, and right here at the capital city with partly cloudy to partly sunny skies. Our current temperature is at 86. Now the dew point 74. Still very humid out there, although those temperatures aren't quite as hot as yesterday. The heat index, or what it feels like outside, is 94. Winds are north to west at 12. It's a sign of the weak cold front has moved through in the barometer 29.93, and it is currently falling. Well, the setup from earlier this morning did feature a large area of showers and thunderstorms that weakened considerably as they moved through central Arkansas just after lunchtime, just about the timing that we expected. But the clouds have been rather slow to dissipate and thin out, but they will continue to do so as we head through the evening hours. We do have weak high pressure off to our north. And since that frontal boundary has slipped a little bit further to the south and east of the Little Rock area, we're going to see that north to northwesterly flow bring in that slightly drier air through the overnight hours. But don't get too used to those slightly lower humidities, because that very same cold front will be headed back northward as a warm front as we head through the day tomorrow. So we're going to notice those winds shifting from the northwest to the southeast throughout the course of the afternoon. There may be an isolated shower in one or two places, but the rain chance is less than 10% statewide. That's going to change, though, as we head into late Friday night into early Saturday morning as a storm system moves into Kansas. Another round of nighttime thunderstorms will be moving into northwest Arkansas. They'll likely be moving through central Arkansas around sunrise on Saturday, but then become more isolated as we head through Saturday afternoon. So if you do have weekend outdoor plans, you might need to put them off first thing Saturday morning. But I think Saturday afternoon and to a lesser extent Sunday should be okay. Those rain chances on Sunday standing at about 30%. As of right now, it looks like Eclipse Day will be partly cloudy with just a small chance of a shower or thunderstorm. For tonight, we are looking for partly cloudy to mostly clear skies down to 70. For your day on Friday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high temperature up to 93. Now, your weather impact number for tonight, for Friday, and for Saturday from the Crane team is basically very, very low. A 3 for Saturday because of that chance of showers and thunderstorms, and that will be primarily first thing in the morning, but during the afternoon hours there may be an isolated shower or two. Now, on Sunday and Monday, 30% rain chances. Remember, the Great American Eclipse comes rain or shine on Monday. Let's hope we can keep the shine going at 1:18 p.m. here in Little Rock. 90% of the sun will be covered. Make sure you have your eclipse glasses. But it looks like we're going to keep those temperatures rather summer-like with highs in the low to mid-90s, overnight lows in the mid-70s. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Watch KARK4 today. tomorrow morning from 4 to 7. You're watching KARK4 News at 5.
Today, we are now 175 days away from opening ceremonies of the 2018 Winter Olympic Games. And we've all heard the phrase that practice makes perfect. Well, if you're on the U.S. ski team and it's summer, where do you practice? You got to practice if you want to be perfect, but there's no snow around. Andrew Martin tells us just exactly where practice goes down in this Going for Gold report.
The U.S. ski team did quite well at the Sochi Olympics in 2014, 12 medals, 5 gold. It hopes to make another splash 4 years later.
In the end of the summer here, we're doing the exact jumps that we'll be doing, hopefully, for a gold medal jump at the Olympics.
In other words, no snow, no problem. Not in Park City, Utah, anyway. In summer, the athletes use water instead.
We still work on our landings here and looking at the ground and making sure you're prepping for that landing. This facility is huge for us. It's the best off-season training you can get.
There are a few very similar ones, one in Canada, one in Switzerland, a few hidden in China, places like that. But at this level, definitely not.
Part of Utah Olympic Park, it was built in the early 1990s and used during the 2002 Olympics hosted by Salt Lake City. The biggest question, what's it like to land in water?
Some people kind of forget that water really isn't that soft, especially when you're coming down from 60 feet in the air.
The bubbles definitely help aerate the pool and soften that landing for you, but at the end of the day, I definitely get sore. You get your ankles and your backs, but yeah, no pain, no gain, right?
Utah Olympic Park is hosting the U.S. Olympic team trials for ski jumping and Nordic combined in December with snow on the ground. With this week's Going for the Gold report, I'm Andrew Martin.
And our own Aaron Noll will be heading to South Korea for the 2018 Winter Games. Aaron will provide daily reports from Pyeongchang as more than 240 U.S. athletes compete in the Olympic Games Going for Gold. Hey, Powerball players, listen up. The jackpot now sitting at $510 million. How and when you can try your luck at winning the big bucks after the break.
KARK4 News at 5.
A new permit offered by Arkansas Game and Fish increasing dove hunting options in the state. The commission is now offering draw permit hunts on leased private field in Lono County to increase hunters' chances of enjoying a traditional dove hunt this year. Dove hunting season, by the way, begins September 5th, so make sure you make note of that. Country superstar Shania Twain bringing her now tour to Arkansas. Shania will perform June 12th at Verizon Arena. Tickets go on sale next Friday at 10 a.m. The Canadian-born singer has won 5 Grammys and has a list of hits including You're Still the One and I Feel Like a Woman. Powerball jackpot, $510 million for Saturday's drawing. Man, the cash value, $324 million in your pocket. Powerball tickets cost $1 and $2. The drawing is held Wednesday and Saturday nights at 10 o'clock. The deadline to buy a ticket is 1 hour before the drawing. Powerball is played actually in 44 states, including D.C., Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands if you'll be traveling. Hey, stick around. Chief Keith's going to have a final look at your forecast as we head into the weekend.
Ahead for us tonight, the latest on the still unfolding security operation underway in Barcelona after a deadly truck attack. Also, how Silicon Valley is making it more difficult for alt-right groups to spread their message. And we look at the huge demand for eclipse viewing glasses on NBC Nightly News.
Watch KARK4, local news that matters. Watching KARK4 News at 5.
A substance abuse program in North Little Rock, the VA hospital there, thinks the upcoming solar eclipse is just the thing to brighten up their patients' day. Problem is, they haven't had a way to view it, haven't been able to get hold of those glasses until today. KARK's chief meteorologist, Keith Monahan, headed over to the hospital, handing out solar eclipse glasses to patients there.
We have a very robust substance abuse program here. This is wonderful that these guys get a chance to go outside and see something that they're only going to see once in 100 years.